Well, I'm a touring singer-songwriter, and I've been just doing that since I was 15, basically. Touring all over the world, finding my way back here to Brockport to raise a family.
Just let it wash away those things you always need to hear.
Chris Wilson's love for music started at the very young age of 4, learning to play on his mother's guitar.
My mom was a singer-songwriter. She was really, really fantastic. So when I was, young, there was just music playing in the house all the time. Whether it was recorded music, and all of her favorite stuff was all the folk stuff from like the 60s and 70s. So it was all Paul Simon, Simon and Garfunkel, John Denver, James Taylor, Jim Croce, all that stuff. So
Chris began his professional career at the age of 15, touring the globe and sharing his music with the world.
So I've just moved out to Los Angeles, and I'm 20 years old. I'm, just hustling, just trying to get something to happen. And somebody says that they're auditioning for this new show on MTV called The Cut. I wrote a song called The Way That She Loves Me.
She smiles to the way that she loves me.
Now, what did you think of Chris's smooth sounds?
David Foster is on that show. I don't know if you're familiar, but David Foster is one of the biggest best-selling producers of all time. He's on that show, and he's talking about, he's like Quincy Jones, or again, who's another, like the biggest producers of all time. He's like, my friend Quincy Jones always tells me, he's like, the 3 ingredients to a hit record are
the song, and the song. And he's absolutely right when you think about it. Chris, this song is just undeniable.
I mean, I loved living in LA. Musically, it was a very rich environment, very creative environment.
Not only did Chris spend time in LA, but he also went to places like Beijing, Hong Kong, and Croatia to share his music. While in Croatia, Chris found himself on a mountaintop playing for the Prime Minister. After all those years of traveling around the world, he continued his career in his hometown of Brockport, New York with his family. After he got home, Chris and his family bought a barn.
We just drove by and we saw this sort of broken down old barn built in 1849, and we're like, wouldn't it be cool if? But it seemed ridiculous. But somehow, through a series of very long stories and a lot of intervention by God, we got it. And so I would just go out and tour and play festivals and bring back every bit of money that I had and just say, what else can we do?
Chris had a vision. He wanted to fix up the barn and be able to play for his fans. After years, his vision came to fruition. He held concerts at the barn and filled every seat. Chris wanted his barn to be the ultimate house for concerts. He feels it's the best way for artists to play intimate music.
Yes, I love you.
I have to say, I don't know that you could hear intimate music in a better place, because we tailor everything to the audience. So the sound, it's like you can hear a pin drop. It's a real listening room. Like, you go to most bars and clubs or smaller places tend to be loud. And so nuanced music, like what I play, it just gets lost, it gets buried. Mm-hmm. But in a place like this, where people come and sort of they understand that you're here to listen to music. So you can do things that you could never do anywhere else. Like you can take people to the quietest moment, like to just these you can take them right down to nothing and then build it way back up, which is, I love that.
Thank you.
Chris Wilson's life is the guitar, and wherever he goes, a guitar always finds a way to follow him. He shows his love for the guitar in his custom-made guitar room, hanging together in harmony. From his past to the present day, he is always looking to add to his great story of music.